Hello Pokemon fans, this is ProPokeNoob back today to bring you another battle. This is a very special match because it is done with the ultimate of the ultimates, the amazing, the one and the only Dr. Diego. It will be a standard OU match against Dr. Diego, and I have to keep saying Dr. Diego because I have a funny story with Dr. Diego, and I promised him I would upload this battle. So Dr. Diego was all like one night, "Yo, ProPokeNoob," and I'm like, "Yo, Diego, what's up?" He's like, "Not much, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm okay." And he's like, "Yo, let's go on Showdown and have a battle." I'm like, "Dude, it's too late, it's 3 in the morning, my brain's not working." He's all like, "Your brain's never working." And I'm like, "You're absolutely correct, let's just go do it." You know what this man right here brings? He brings OU. And I'm like, "Dude, you know I don't have an OU team." He's like, "Eh, it doesn't matter. Just bring any team you want." And I'm like, "You just want to beat me, don't you?" He's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yes. I need to feel better about myself." I'm like, "Okay, well, let me just go find a team." So basically, the battle's going to be against this guy, Dr. Diego. So I decided to bring my UU priority team that hadn't been fixed up. So let's go take a look at this. Now, we are actually quite lucky here that I was able to get this team preview, because for some reason the replays now, like usually the way you do this is you just put it on really slow and you pause the very beginning, but some of my replays aren't doing it anymore, and I might have to go back to the trainer cards, which is not too big of a deal. I just like this look better. It looks nicer. It's not distorted, and trust me, the extra 20 minutes that it takes to make these trainer cards, my goodness, this is just better, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully, by all blessings from Arceus and every other god in the world, I hope this remains. So if you hear me, keep this. Anyways, so, in the ways it leads, I figured he'd probably just lead off with his Politoed. I do see he has a rain team, obviously, and I cannot change that. So, I am actually going to lead off with my Roserade, predicting that, and he does indeed lead off with the Politoed. Now I'm just going to go straight for the Sleep Powder just to get some type of initiative going on here. He actually switches out into his Latias, I guess predicting Sleep Powder or the Grass move, but in any case, he has to switch out. He's going to go into his Tornadus. I believe I predict this and go into my Zoomeril. Actually, I just really went to a Zoomeril because I can hit anything powerfully enough. He actually goes for Hurricane. Luckily, it doesn't take me out. I'm going to go for the Waterfall, and that is pure power. Actually, it's huge power. But he's going to go into Terrakion. Most likely know I'm going to be banded, but he's actually going to switch out, go into his Politoed, as I decide to switch out, and I believe I go into Mew to take the predicted fighting move, which makes sense. Now I'm just going to start setting up. Early setting up, not too big of a deal. He actually goes for the Encore, so this tells me that he is a defensive set. Now I'm just going to switch into my Roserade in case he wanted to go for Toxic, but he actually makes a switch as well, and he goes into his Gliscor. Now, he does get a free Toxic Orb up, which is not a big deal. I'm not going to put this thing to sleep anytime soon. He is going to go for the sub as I set up one layer of Toxic Spikes. That's all I need, because the only things that are going to get hit right now are the Politoed, the Keldeo, and the Terrakion, and I want more damage per turn rather than a building up amount of damage, if that made any sense. Residual damage, flat residual damage, that's perfect, that's all I need. So I'm just going to go for the Giga Drain. I don't want this thing behind a sub. Now, I do know that this thing is just a sub-stall set, so here I predict him to predict me to want to switch out to preserve this thing, predicting him to go for the sub, so I'm just going to go for another Giga Drain, because really, I don't care for Roserade at this point. It's going to die to everything else on his team, so really, you know, I just don't want this thing to have a sub. He gets a crit, I don't know the damage calcs, but this kind of sucks because it did 52% before. Never mind. It just appeared on the side that it didn't matter. That's right. He's going to switch to the Politoed because he knows my Frostlass has the Ice Shard. And that's actually changed. The team has changed up quite a bit. But anyways, his Politoed is going to get poisoned. Now here I'm going to set up a layer of spikes. I want him to hit me down with Skull, because now I'm going to go for the Destiny Bond, but he gets the Cursed Body. Now this is the only time I didn't want Cursed Body, because that means he actually can't hit me. So now I'm going to go for the Destiny Bomb, but then I remembered that Destiny Bomb will last until my next move. Obviously, Diego didn't remember this, because he goes for the Hydro Pump, and he told me, he's like, "Wait, what? Not only do I disable him, but I take him with me." So he's like, "Oh, that's right, that affects it afterwards." I go, "Yep, yes it does." So I'm going to go back into the Jack of all trades, which is the Mew. He goes going to win his Gliscor. I know I need to set up because I do have the Psy-Shock. He's going to get a sub up, but frankly, I figure, you know what? This thing might be the Toxic Stall set, but I will be able to break his sub after a +2 for sure. And as you guys will see in a bit, the damage is actually enough, I think, to break the sub without setup? I cannot remember exactly, but no, it's not, definitely. So I had to set up in order to break his sub. So he's going to go for the Roost now, and I figured at this point, you know what? I can't have this thing behind a sub. I don't want it. I want a Zoomeril to threaten the Gliscor. So I'm just going to set up the +4, try and do some serious damage to this guy. He is going to get another substitute up as long as I have enough damage to do so he can't set up a sub, if that makes any sense. I just want to get this guy really crippled so that when he does see my Azumarill, I want him to cry in pain and wish he never roosted off with those feathers that just don't exist on a Gliscor, okay? Because look at that damage. Almost 50%, but not much. Now he goes for the roost, so I figured on this last turn here, I'm going to set up my rocks predicting him to go for the roost, and the rocks will be nice later on when his final 3 Pokemon come out after this thing is dead. So he does go for the roost, I go for the rocks, and now I have pretty much one of each hazard up, which will be more than enough for me to hopefully clean house with either Lanoon or Azumarill. Now here, okay. During the battle, I got really ticked that my Citrus Berry didn't activate. And if my Citrus Berry activated, because first of all, I had an odd amount of HP, which means that it was like 50.5%, so my Gluttony doesn't activate. And I'm like, Diego, I can't believe this just happened, but I could have healed up, probably taken your Earthquake, and I probably could have swept you with this because I do have the Seed Bomb. And I'm faster, I can just go for extreme speed, everything's going to get hit and all that stuff. And I was just really, really raging in general. I have a confession to make, Dr. Diego. When I made this Lanoon, I completely forgot I wanted to be original and put a Lumberry on it. Because in UU, I wasn't too concerned necessarily about this thing being taken out. I was more concerned about this thing being statused. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, because I was just like, I was speaking so much about how my Citrus Berry never activated, and then I remembered, wait a minute, I have Lumberry. Wow, why am I complaining? So, you know, moving on from there, he's going to go into his Politoed to take my water move, which is pretty evident, but I'm not over-predicting. At this point, Aqua Jet will look good hitting any of his Pokemon, especially since all these hazards are up. So now I'm just going to switch out, go into my Mienshao. He doesn't know what my Mienshao is, which is the Life Orb. Thank God he doesn't burn me here. That would have been terrible. But, he's going to go for the Scald. He's not going to take me out. Now, I'm just going to go for the U-turn. I don't want to reveal that I have Fake Out yet. So, because I know U-turn will take him out from this range, and if it doesn't, the poison will. So I'm just going to keep going for U-turn, make it look like I'm Scarfed or something of the sort. And he's just going to get the Double Protect, which is really annoying. But now he's going to be even more annoying and go for the Triple Protect, but luckily he doesn't get it. And I'm going to be able to take him out with a U-turn and get... well, then it reveals that I have Life Orb. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to switch out, get my Regenerator. Go into Bubble Fist, because Bubble Fist threatens his whole team at this point. This Terrakian's gonna come in, think he can take an Aqua Jet in the Rain Choice Bandit. You serious, son? No! And at this point, I thought we actually, like, we both agree that maybe I have the match, because, you know, if Latias stays asleep long enough, you know, I could take it out. Now, obviously not with Aqua Jet. Now, here I go for Aqua Jet. I could have switched into Mienshao, made this a little bit faster, but I kind of screwed that up. So, I'm going to go to Mienshao. You're going to notice, though, that it's really not going to matter, I think, because the turn that it would have taken me to switch in here, as you will see, I'm going to go for the Fake Out, and he wakes up here. So I'm thinking if I had switched out a turn earlier, went for the Fake Out, you know what? I might have actually had the match if I did that. Might have blown that. You guys tell me if that actually mattered, if I had switched in a turn earlier, if that would have actually won me the match. Because what you're going to notice here is I can't take him out, or I thought I could take him out with an Aqua Jet, but no, he lives with nothing. He's going to go for the Dragon Pulse and take me out. And, no, I think the consensus was, what was the consensus? No, it was like I think if I had switched a turn earlier, could have gone for the Fake Out, then a U-turn or a Stone Edge. Oh, no, I think what it was, he thought I had HP Ice and not Stone Edge. So he thought it was over in that sense, because I would have outsped both his Pokemon and gone for HP Ice. But no, if I had HP Ice, this battle would have been mine. But because I did not have HP Ice, he is going to take the 1-0. But nonetheless, that was an excellent match, Dr. Diego. Comment, rate, and subscribe, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this battle. In the ways of OU, I will eventually build a team in it, but right now I am just getting through a few teams that I have been building. Mainly I've been working on Monotype quite a bit, and I do have a few battles saved up, but that's for PO Asoft, so I don't have Asoft available to me, so I'm going to try and get some on Showdown, because my teams have actually been doing quite well, so hopefully I can get the same results on Smogon. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, hopefully not too far in the future, but, you know, between the time that I'm trying to find everything, I'll try and continue to bring you battles. But until then, peace.